quite a lot in Clubhouse. I think we made that talking point when Upper Decky and Wildcard were playing amongst one another on the exact same map just earlier today. But one operator that also was not in the ban pool was Azami.
Hunting him down. They've got a ping. They know he's tucked in the opposite corner. Now they spot him. There's another player coming in from the garage, and Kobe Lax finally gets done and dusted, but 2 minutes.
Moto hatch, pardon. That could have been a very dastardly thing for Arial to be able to deal with.
Luckily for them, they'll get the hard breach down, no problem, but there's only 25 seconds left, and what did I say earlier? Arial have a tendency to be really slow and stall out. Now we've eclipsed the 20-second mark, and this is where makers are going to try and make their stand and get aggressive. Look at Packer's position, just waiting for the guy under the hatch, but he doesn't expect Poison to come through the Kool-Aid wall. Setting up the Osa shield, getting the backwards plant. Giddy the first kill for his team. Woo's another one, but Giddy now falls, and the plant is being completed by Poison. It's all up to Bino. 1v3 post plant as the attackers retreat upstairs, and Arial arrives despite the low time, turn things around thanks to Poison being able to sneak his way through. Minute and a half left as Arial have basically cleared the roam. All that really remains to be seen is how long does Packer stay up there, because Arial have already made much better time than their first attempt, and Giddy getting aggressive like that is just going to give Arial an even better chance at winning the round. He doesn't think there's two doubled up on main stairs, and they've got info on Packer now hugging that Moto doorway. A 4v2 advantage for Arial with a whole minute left to play.
Great coverage by Arial Arise. You saw the Goo Mine hit Mike W, and immediately Inrio backs him up. That way there's no chance of a free kill for makers. The same thing follows up. Snake drops the Moto hatch, kills the guy in church, and now Woos has been downed by, I think, a Selma charge. Leaving just Bino left alive. He'll look to tussle by bottom main, but instantly he's dealt with by the
Repel to cut off any control of the window, and then you play Metal Balk. It's been full cache clears for the most part 99% of the time. Woos is going to get an opening pick, and there's Inrio not expecting Packer to be playing close on the wall, and there's where
highway to go off of, which those are still closed. They have to use a breaching charge by Mike W to open up these positions. They now have highway to work off of, and Khan. But Poison just died with a diffuser dropped in the midst of cache. So now it's just the Thatcher and Buck left alone by highway, and they're already being shot at.
Yeah, Woo's stepping up huge inside of Jim. 2 picks already, and now prone behind the weight rack, daring this player to jump in through that window. Snake and Mike W very disconnected here. They are isolated, and they're going to have to win probably at least 2 1v1s each if they want to have success in this round. Snake very scared of someone potentially in Logi, but he's chasing Ghost. Jumpin comes in from the Thatcher, but Woo's with 3 to kill Snake. Leaves Mike W twisting in the wind inside of Jim, trying to fight against a mirror window, and of course, that's not going to work. 3 huge kills for Woos to get makers on the board. Be making a stand and fighting. This could give Kobe Lax that opportunity to get on the board. There's one follow-up as he sees Mike W through the floor holes.
And no one's trying to challenge him. So he can sit here and wait, allow makers to get comfortable, and strike when it matters most. And there it is. Ash detected. That's one opener for the sentry up above. And he'll just dart away, playing his...
He's in the middle of the site, able to cover for Bino, getting this plant down, already more than halfway through, and it's been completed. Makers with a flawless adjustment to Inrio sneaking around upstairs. Arial Arise find themselves in a post plant. Poison doesn't know which way to look. Packer easily kills him. It's all up to Inrio now. The man who got the surprise frag on Kobe can't find any others as makers make sure that the round does not spiral out of control.
Good info established by Snake, hoping for an early kill. Oh, spots the gun barrel, but isn't able to fall back through the barricade. He didn't fall through the right...
Collapsing upon him, now fully blinded. They're going to continue to just send utility towards him. They've got all the angles covered. Inrio getting burned out, and finally killed by Kobe.
What coordination to kill the last player stuck inside a cache, and no other options but to sit there and burn away. And there's still plenty of time left for makers. Just over 40 seconds left to go, and they're in a 5 versus 2. Mirror window opened up as well, albeit by the defense. That could still be another angle to utilize by makers early on. And they're not even trying to aggress too far into the bomb site. They're taking their time to gather info and set up highway pressure so they can push in as a cohesive unit and not just funnel in from one direction.
In comes Kobe, the spearhead on the Ash, making space. The Thermite gets spotted though. Bino cut down. Luckily though, he's not the one with the case. It's Packer. Kobe makes more space in that bomb site and gets the last 2. 3 kills, I believe, for Kobe Lax on the round, and makers with 3 rounds in a row to take the lead. Hard to make his move. Maybe realizing that Kobe doesn't necessarily know about this flank potential. Packer does start the killing off for MKERS. Brios, one of those Rafters players, dead, but Mike W has an instant response on Giddy, the Capitao. Bino still stuck outside this breach with the case, but Packer now has 2, opening up this site to make way for his planter. Kobe dead, though. That shuts down one of those players downstairs and opens up the opportunity for a C4 from below.
Yeah, that's the only Hail Mary that Arial Rise have left. Snake playing down below at Impacts, and Inrio having the hatch right next to him, and Khan that's opened up could also allow him to play down below and stop this plan if it were to be a threat. But the only other issue is that would leave one player left alone on site, and that would be the only main line of defense.
In comes the plant. 1 kill from Mike W to confirm the triple, but the C4 from Inrio misses. Plant is down, but Bino is dead. 4 kills from Mike W, but they have to get rid of Woos, who is on one of the safest positions on the map. But it doesn't matter! Mike W is just that guy! An ace for the Fenrir and a tie game for Arial. The opening pick onto Woos, a man who has been incredible so far this map for MKERS, as well as your Wamai player, though this late in the round. He does likely have most of his discs left out, but I don't know what Packer is peeking. As the mute, you've got a C4, but he's just dry swinging the hatch and ends up getting his head taken off. Poison does take a lot of damage. He's down to just about 30 HP on the Blitz, which is never a good situation if you're a shield, but the man count advantage for Arial cannot be understated here. MKERS really need to play the time. In sneaks Brios. This was that barbed wire being destroyed, now coming into play. There's a Warden right behind him, and there goes Kobe Lax. Oh, it's all up to Giddy. There's one for him, but Brios does not let him get another. 4 kills for the Ash as MKERS overextend in the early round to give Arial the...
Gather a bit of info, spotting if anyone's playing close by the cache doorway, looking into the open breach. And speaking of info, Arial Rise have a boatload of it, but it's still Kobe to find 2 for his troubles. That's your logic.
Breach and less opportunity to find angles because of how small it is. Everyone on MKERS holed up in the site, except for Kobe Lax, who's peeking that wall. Dry. Poison rips his head off, so Legion will get 2 kills, but no more. Con wall gets open, so Arial do have the con plat split now in play, and Poison's just gonna jump right through. Giddy has no idea he was gonna go for that play. Inrio is in the middle of the site taking out Bino. Woos will even us out at 2 apiece, and Inrio looks the wrong way at the wrong time. He had Woos dead to rights. At least Poison's able to get that plant down. He escapes with his life, but he's up against 2 ACOGs. A castle and a dock who still has 2 stims. But do they know where Poison's gone? The Thermite has backed way off into the master bedroom, and he's got a wide open breach to play with. Arial might not know about the soft wall next to it, though. Do MKERS have an opportunity? No, it's on the doorway. No long arm here. They're going to have to swing this guy and bait him out with that counter diffuse. The dock now sits on it, and there we go. Woos out-duels Poison. Packer gets the counter diffuse, and Woos tie this hard. So if you have someone in the window to cut them off, it's going to pay dividends in combination with that Deimos. The nade from the drone hole does miss, but Brios gets the opening pick onto Packer. Another opening death, and Brios for 2. Kobe unable to get the trade, and Giddy can't either. 3 in a row from Brios, completely unanswered except by a frost mat that Mike W can pick himself back out of. And he's got a cutoff for Woos if Woos tries to retreat back to the master doorway. There's still so much time to play with for Arial as well. Brios has that sledgehammer. He could very easily deal with any castle barricades and get a 4th kill onto the bandit.
3 death mark trackers as well. A lot of communication can be used here once Mike W actually gets picked up. I think he is already revived, my mistake. I'm looking at the Frostmat icon. I think he's still downed. Flash from top red does not push away Woos. He injures the buck through the wall, and Bino catches one off screen as well. But the recovery there by Poison is sufficient enough to pick back up Snake. And the final death mark track will go out. They know Mira is exactly by top main, and they've got 4 bodies to throw at this poor soul. A castle barricade blocking off a line of sight from Bino. He's stuck inside the bathroom, but 2 line up for him. Thankfully, Mike W, limping his way up the main stairs, will shut down Mira in bathroom. Ailerize.
Rather spread out. They've got 2 like lounge side, 2 over towards kitchen. Hacker over by main stairs. He and the Thermite now switching places. Bino has to figure out how he's going to get down this staircase. They can't open up this church wall, so this is pretty much just going to be him funneling in, and he gets himself into the Kool-Aid wall, but there's a player playing on the rack who kills him for free. I don't know why they had nothing to do with Snake or didn't expect that, but what they do have is trades, and they have every single one of them.
A potential problem. Whilst MKERS, they've got Kobe now inside the bottom garage. And I thought info may be established by the player all the way down below. The Amaro just hops into a Fenrir mine and is now dead. But Bino, through the jacuzzi wall, is able to alleviate some of that pressure. He finds 2 separate kills and can most likely pick up Hacker so long as no one's here to recontest him. But it looks like they are hunting for more, trying to shut down this weakness here from the open breach. They're good for 2 now, equalizing us, but not for much longer. Beautiful one tap from Woos, straight to the dome of Brios, the top fragger for Arial Rise. That now leaves just Snake on the Solus. You can maybe rotate down below to stop this plant. Unless, of course, they try to hop on the bed for that defuse, but no one has a diffuser right now. I think it's been left by the 45 hallway.
Yeah, it was dropped by Bino. Someone on MKERS is going to have to recover it. It's Woos on the Cali, getting this plant down, now halfway through, but Kobe says, I don't need no plant. Dome Snake through the doorway. And again, the trade game. Wow, what a doing its job, delaying enough times so that the Electro Claw can come back up through that EMP. Poison looking through the downstairs breach, but can't get away from Kobe Lax. A follow-up as well from Woos onto Snake. That's your Fenrir and one of your top players, at least through the season, dead, though he's not having the map that we expected him to. He's -6 and 8. I believe negative, yeah, 1 and 2 on the entry. Now MKERS, with plenty of time remaining in a 2-man lead, look to work their way through cache and into the bomb site.
Still a minute to go. The only problem they'll have to really focus on is that Logi presence and the Nitro cells left in pocket by both Inrio and Brios. They did eliminate one off of Poison, but still a lot of potential for Arial Rise to magically either at least equalize the man advantage, or maybe even have a man advantage of their own. But there is still highway presence, so a lot of the pseudo-aggression that Arial Rise would necessarily need is not going to be as easy this time around. And Kobe now playing up above, he can open up this hatch, and he even has Woos to back him up as well for a nice 1-2 punch.
He's gonna hot drop?
Oh, this could be huge.
He's absolutely gonna hot drop. Droning just to gather some more info. I don't know if they have any info in the site, though. They were both outside, and I think because of that, no, he is still going to go for it and immediately get dust by Mike W. There's 2 players in Logi to stop him. Potentially another kill from Mike as he lights up Giddy, but a second drop from Woos through the Fenrir gets 2. Giddy finishes Brios, and MKERS with 3 in a row to win in regulation. Another 7-5 win. And MKERS continue their dominance over Poison's squad.
Once again, just short by 2 rounds on Clubhouse. For a brief moment, I thought, Harrison, this could be the nail in the coffin for MKERS, but they swiftly bounced back in the second half.